Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the New Orleans Saints taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be second down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. Into this game, they're ranked number 22 in the NFL against the pass, Charles.
And when you're getting ready to face the #1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards, good for his Saints first down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back nice gains, that one for 14 yards and another first.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
He'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up second down. This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
From midfield, here's Carr. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The Carr's throw here taken in by Knox. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. It's safe to say the passing game has found a rhythm. He's now 4 of 4, but might need to be 5 of 5 to keep this drive going here as they face a third down.
And maybe perhaps you show a running play, right? Maybe a little play action here to go ahead and let him throw the ball downfield. I wouldn't get away from him flinging it because 4 for 4 already. I think he's got a good chance of picking this one up here on third down.
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football as they force the turnover on the opening drive. Well, it's no secret he's had trouble this year with interceptions, and this is a bad start for him. First drive, throwing another pick.
No matter who's broadcasting his game, that's how the conversation begins. Throwing too many interceptions. Can he take care of the football? If I were his backup, I'd be edging towards the coaches and saying, hey, how about giving me an opportunity?
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
So from the 17, here's 2nd and 7. A quick throw complete out to Isabella. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That's good for 28 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
They'll run on first down with Akers. Jordan Brooks on the tackle. The Vikings at 8-1 on the year. They come in here hot. I mean, over the last 9, Charles, they are 8-1.
And that record, the way that they're playing, they've proven to me, and I think anyone else in the league, that they're able to go toe-to-toe with anyone, and they look forward to the challenge.
2nd and 9. Herbert now. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Saints are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's 3rd down and inches. Try to run for it with Jacobs. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
They go with Jacobs. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. Remember, that was 4th and a full 2 yards. There's a big difference between that and 4th and maybe 6 inches or a yard.
Yeah, you're exactly right, because when it's that 6 inches, you just fall forward and you pick it up, right? You just go quarterback sneak. But having to move bodies, that means you actually have to execute because they know what you're going to do. How are you going to make the right play call and get everyone into the right spot and win at the line of scrimmage? That's what they did there.
The Saints with a football here to begin quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Now Carr. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's personally or just offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding up the hand.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
On first down, Justin Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, he certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Back to throw here, Herbert. He'll get this to the rookie, Jonathan Mingo. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll go with Akers here up the middle. And a solid run down inside the 30. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Speed is the name of the game when it comes to RPOs, and sometimes you can be a little too quick, thus inaccurate, incomplete.
Herbert on 3rd down now. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. And his kick is right there. It's good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Throwing now is Carr. Open man is Yoshivas. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 44 yards for an offense that has not found the end zone yet. That's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here. So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Now Carr. Finding Knox there, complete. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Hyatt there to grab it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it. That time the conversion comes courtesy of the RPO.
And know what it did? It moved the sticks. Nice pickup on third down. Even better decision.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Here's 2nd and 7. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That leads us to a 1st and goal. It's a pickup of 8.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Jacobs. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he is unable to get in. They stop him at the line of scrimmage. They hold him again, and now all of a sudden it's 3rd and goal at the 1. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Carr keeps it on the sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. Derek Carr hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to run with it. A fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Herbert on 1st down now. He's going to look deep for Watkins. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
Herbert operating from the red zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Elijah Higgins from 17 yards out. And the Vikings will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Fair catch going to be taken, and this will be moved out to the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3 and take some momentum into the locker room. They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And they're not going to go quietly into this halftime break. They know they're in for a fight, so they're trying to make every possession count. They took the big shot there, but it winds up incomplete.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smiles.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens, things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique. His ability to see the quarterback throw the ball while understanding where the receiver is running his route allows him to make a lot of plays on the football, and he's taking it away at a really high rate.
Back to the air. Herbert on 2nd down. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Charles, I'm looking at you, and understandably your mouth is wide open in disbelief. What were they thinking?
That's going to be one of the great mysteries, but I do know this. When they went out on offense, I will guarantee they told them, don't just make anticipatory throws. Make sure you see it before you throw it. Didn't happen here.
Trying to protect that lead, and now they gave it up. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. But no run back here. Fair catch, and this will come out to the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Here's Herbert. And this one too low.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before the break for Herbert. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. A field goal the difference. 17-14 is the score. Back underway here now in this third quarter. And the half will begin with a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
That ball complete to Isabella. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's Herbert. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 21 yards. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. They'll run out of the gun with Akers. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. On 1st and 10, Herbert. A quick throw there is incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. That is caught. And he will have the Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
A give up the middle to Akers. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for this with Akers. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll run for it with Akers. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Cam Akers, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point attempt to come here. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
On play action, it's Carr. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on third.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point of the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here comes the Saints punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return, and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. 33 yards that time. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. On 2nd and 10, the ball back with Herbert. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
That's out quickly to Hyatt. And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. Give him 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Jalen Carter working his way back behind the line of scrimmage and dropping him for a loss.
I think this running game, or should I say lack of one, is making this defense look better than what they really are.
Carr. This one complete to Yoshivas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
And he is going to have a Saints first down by about 3 yards or so as they wind up getting 7 there on 3rd and 4.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Andre Yoshivas. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Extra point by Butker is on target. And that cuts the lead to 3, 24-21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And he'll elect not to run with it. And a fair catch on the kickoff will move the ball to the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, nursing such a small lead, you thought he'd take better care of the football after his last drive. Now for the 2nd straight possession, he's put all the pressure right back on his defense. They need to take a stand and hold that lead.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain of maybe a yard. So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. From the 31, here's 2nd and 9. Play action. Now it's Carr. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, any caused incompletion is good for a defense, but when you add to it, you get a little hit on the quarterback, knock him to the ground, make him think a little bit, hopefully knock him off his game, especially in a game of this magnitude, this tight in the 4th quarter. Got to feel pretty good as a defense.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
Wow, the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down. Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed. unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Butker's kick here is good. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
Now this one setting up for a great finish, all tied in the fourth as the kick's away. And he'll elect not to run with it. The fair catch will move this out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, the bad news, they had the turnover last time. The good news, their defense only surrendered 3. So now we are set up for a great finish, all tied here in the fourth. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
71 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down and 3. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up a screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly. And you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he will have a Vikings first down. They needed 3, he doubled that, he got 6. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On the handoff, it's Akers. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9. And the slot man goes in motion left. Now it's Herbert. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and the defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
Herbert. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one is right down the middle. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one of this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it. And they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Carr. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards. Jacobs going to try the middle. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. 53 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Jet sweep. Carr bats it forward. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jalen Carter able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher every single down.
Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Who wants it more? This is 4th and a yard. They'll try and run for it. And he's not going to get there. Might have even lost a yard. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll begin on the ground with Akers. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Not a lot of running room there. Not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Another run on 2nd down, trying to cover up. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
That is intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Here's second down. Now Carr.
Little pitch and catch to the tight end, Knox. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
The sound reverberating here in the dome. This is third down. Carr to throw.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Vikings have just about sewn up this football game.
Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost like the game before their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it's going to be their defense that gets the ink in the headlines tomorrow, and for good reason. They forced 5 turnovers in this game.
And while we were watching this game unfold, I kept thinking about when we did our training camp tour and something that you noticed along the way. Just about every camp we visited, when the defense got together, everyone was doing ball drills. Defensive linemen, linebackers, secondary, because they understood how vital it was to take the football away. And they wanted every opportunity. When the ball was knocked free, they want all those guys to be familiar with touching the ball so they could pick up the fumble or get the interception. And we saw it pay off in this one here.
Yeah, 5 times. They'll remember this one. So for Minnesota, the great run they've been on continues as they move to 9-1 now. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back at